Sorry, guys, caught me watching football. Um, yes. Sorry, just checking on something for the progress of my fantasy football team. Decided to do a Raw review. It's coming in for me quite late. Um, I apologise now. Um, During the time that I've been still continuing to do these videos on this laptop, I have noticed that the video quality keeps fucking up, and there'll be a period where it goes and a really loud pitch and sound happens. I apologise. This will be resolved within the next week when my new setup is finally up and running and active. Please bear with me while that happens. Um, it doesn't happen all the time, but I have noticed it has happened. So I apologise now. And it tends to happen maybe 5 to 10 minutes into a video, so I do warn you. Anyway, Raw kicked off for Brooklyn. Crowd was great tonight, as New York crowds tend to be. I mean, I've heard a lot of people describe the show in a lot of ways. I've heard some people say that it was a good show. I've heard some people say it was an alright show. I've heard some people say it was a bad show. You watch the Upper Road Central, they really hated this show. They really hated this show. I'm somewhere in the middle. I thought it was okay. I thought the dumb shit that happened was really dumb. I thought the funny shit that happened was at the start of the show was really funny. But I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I was a bit indifferent. It definitely wasn't as good as last week, but it was a good show. It was decent. I think people are being overdoing it when they say it was a bad show. I don't think it was a bad show. It was alright, you know. People do. Um, anyway, so let me get into it before I get continually distracted by the football as I seem to be right now. So, opening segment pretty much kicked off in its typical way. Steph came out looking fly as ever, talking about Daniel Bryan not being on the show and, you know, doing some heel stuff, doing occasional babyface stuff, which is a bit confusing as well. And Orton came out, who, I don't know about anyone else, does Orton feel like a bit of a forgotten man in this whole thing? You never remember that this motherfucker is still the champion. He's getting completely overshadowed by the Authority, Daniel Bryan. Literally everyone seems more important than Orton right now. The Shield, Hulk Hogan, everyone feels more important. Like, he's your supposed face of the company, as they try to tell you in the storyline. So Orton came out doing his usual kiss ass shit. Batista came out in his tight ass pants. Please do remember that. Had a bit of goofy mic work in the sense that, I don't know, some sort of technical hitches were happening. Steph, I felt, dealt with it quite well considering. I liked the typical Attitude F diss from Batista to Steph with regards to, you know, Steph being drilled on. Steph slapped Batista. Then walked out the way. Orton was laughing at Batista, and Batista speared him. At which point you saw way too much of his ass. Way too much ass of Batista came to play. No one wanted to see that shit. I wish Batista would stop wearing these tight ass fucking clothes. So yeah, that's basically what ended up happening. And that was your opening segment. It was kind of goofy, probably memorable for the wrong reasons. And that was that. Next, was a fatal four-way. Decided number one contender for main event, which is on Tuesday, uh, for Big E's Intercontinental Championship. It was Christian, Dolph, Alberto Del Rio, and Sheamus. Pretty much the New York crowd wanted anyone but Sheamus to win that match. They were definitely behind Dolph Ziggler in that match. 100% behind Dolph Ziggler in that match. Uh, Christian won. Apparently, he had a concussion, so he couldn't even participate in that match. I swear, at this point, they should just cut Christian. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of Christian. Never will be a fan of Christian. They should just cut this motherfucker. I have never met someone so fragile since probably Rey Mysterio. Fuck me. Where the heck did he get this concussion from? Anyway, so they had to take him out of the match. So apparently Dolph Ziggler actually replaced him. I didn't watch main event, so yeah. And Ray cut a nice video message for Cena on the Titantron. Good stuff. Scooby-Doo came in. I'm thinking, fuck. Los Maradores versus Curtis Axel and Bareback came in. And at that point, you were told that, that because some backstory, if you didn't watch SmackDown, Shield, who are full-fledged babyfaces at this point, got beaten the fuck down by various tag teams, one of which was Axel and Bareback. So they got taken the fuck out. They really got beaten up brutally. I actually watched it. It was quite good. So at the start of this match, you were told that Kane had actually awarded Axel and Bareback a tag team title shot. So pretty much into maybe 10 seconds into this match, Shaw came down, circled the ring. First of all, cost them the match, and then circled the ring. Beat the shit out of Bareback and Axel. Triple powerbomb onto Bareback. Good stuff, good stuff. Then the Triple H sit down interview happened, and at this point, it was just like it was quite lackluster up until this part. Apart from Bray's good promo, nothing dramatic had happened at this point. But Triple H put a little bit of energy into the show. I think he's such a great heel. He really is. Just talking about stuff like, that, you motherfuckers asked for this. You asked for the cerebral assassin. You asked for the game. And then as soon as I beat down on your boys, talking about how, I'm the COO and I should be above all this. Do you want the competitor or do you want the COO? Well, that is a valid point to be fair to him. But yeah, it was good stuff. Such a good deal. Such a good deal. And declared that the reality era begins. So hashtag reality era, as you see in the description box. And Cody beat Fandango in a relatively quick match. I was surprised to see that Cody was the one facing Fandango this time, after the way Goldust reacted to whatever botch Fandango did last week. They didn't want Goldust anywhere near Fandango. Yeah, that was good stuff. Disaster kick 1, 2, 3. Good stuff. And Hogan comes out with Army and that motherfucker from True Blood, Joe, whatever his name is. I actually quite liked this segment more than I thought I would. Miz came out, And, you know, they did their usual shtick between the four. They're saying that, you know, none of these motherfuckers belong here, including New Hogan, blah, blah, blah. Miz faced up to that Joe, whatever his name is. Joe hit him in the stomach. Hogan dashed him out the ring. Simple as that. It was good stuff. Entertaining segment. Put a bit more life into the show, because it was really, at this point, it was only the crowd that was powering through this. That was really giving the energy and life into the show. It was a fairly steady show. Big Show beats Titus O'Neil. The Shield and Authority had an interesting backstage segment. They're basically like, well, what the fuck? There's a beef between us two. Like, what the fuck is Kane's problem? Triple H is just like, well, you know, whatever issues you have with Kane is between you and Kane. You got shit to do with us. So that was nice. Teased a little bit of tension between Roman Reigns and Triple H, which is quite cool. Then they did a nice little backstage segment with Paranoid Cena. My only issue with this whole Cena thing, and I'm going to talk about this in a video project, so I decided to talk about all the main events. I did, for those who haven't seen, I have done a video about The Undertaker and Sting, and a little bit of a preview into the Brock Lesnar match that he has. And I'm going to talk about this with all the main events for WrestleMania. This being the main event, because it's John Cena, let's be honest, it's one of the main events. So I'm going to talk about this. I just wish this sort of paranoid scared shit had a few weeks to build up. Because I was watching the match, and I might as well talk about the match now. Because it was Cena and Harper. We all know Harper's a decent worker. Actually, he's a better worker than that Luke, that other motherfucker. And I actually thought, you know, it was a decent match. But it was a fantastic ending. Fantastic ending. Basically, what happened was, you know, during the usual match, Cena was about to put him away with it, his usual FU. And then the lights cut out. Basically, that, you know, the way they jump out the screen, that when the lights cut out. Next thing you know, the lights come back on. Cena's tied up on the ropes, sheets marked on. It was brilliant, because we have never seen John Cena look vulnerable, and that little thing did just enough to make him look vulnerable, to make us think, whoa, could Cena actually lose? And that was beautiful. I really hope fucking Bray wins. I hope so badly Bray wins. I don't think he will, but I just hope so badly he wins, because I think he's done really well this year. Dare I say, Superstar of the Year so far. Yeah, you fucking heard me say it. Superstar of the Year so far. He's picked up a clean win against Daniel Bryan. Why not give him a win against Cena? It won't be clean, but fuck it, I'll take it. But yeah, they did a nice little backstage segment prior to the match where Cena thought he saw a sheep's head in the mirror, and by the time he turned around, it disappeared. I just wish they had a few more weeks to build up to that, so that you could buy that Cena is scared. There's certain times in the matches, particularly with Harper, where he was smiling. No, motherfucker, why are you smiling? You're supposed to sell the idea that you're scared. Oh, that fucking shit pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, it pissed me off. This is the kind of reason why people see Cena as a phony. Because you're talking about how the fuck you're scared, 1 minute, and then the next minute, you're talking about you smiling your goofy fucking smile. No, motherfucker, sell that you're scared. Oh, pisses me off. So that's my little rant out of the way. So then AJ walks out of my match with Naomi, and Vicky comes out, basically tells AJ, you're going to have an invitational, I don't know, battle royal, I don't know what sort of match it was. Basically, AJ's going to face every single diva on the roster, including Tamina. at WrestleMania. So I mean, it creates a bit of intrigue for that AJ match. I still think I got a feeling she'll retain just because the odds are so against her. Um, but it's a good way to spotlight AJ. Have a feeling Mickey James might come back Raw after WrestleMania, and she'll be the one to take the title. Um, in a very good match between the two, I think. But yeah, I don't mind. I think it's a good way to spotlight the divas. Everybody gets a paycheck. Might not be a very big paycheck, but everybody gets a paycheck. The biggest show of the year, can't complain. Way to make all the girls happy. Uh, and what surprisingly I've not seen too many people talk about, fucking Razor Ramon is in the Hall of Fame. What the fuck? Hope this motherfucker's sober enough to do a decent fucking speech. But yeah, Razor Ramon is in the Hall of Fame. It's a great Hall of Fame class. Anyway, yes, so then Real Americans versus Shield um, had a match, very good match. Cesaro was well over in this match, as you would expect him to be with a smart mark New York crowd. 100% is set to be the next WWE star, in my opinion. And to be honest, Rollins was the star of this match, though. He has clearly upped his game because I think he figured that he would be lost in the shuffle should the Shield break up. And I tell you what, I said it before. You check my fucking videos. This motherfucker is going to be a new Jeff Hardy. He's getting over week by week by week with his moves and his effort that he puts in matches. Um, he was spotlighted brilliantly in this match, I think. Um, they kind of they ended up putting Cesaro through the announcers table. You can see the crowd were really like, can you put Swagger through the announcers table? We really don't want you to hurt Cesaro. But the Shield put Cesaro through the table. Um, then the New Age Outlaws came out and Kane in all his suits. Basically knew what was going to happen. Kane set up a WrestleMania match between the New Age Outlaws and Kane versus the Shield at WrestleMania. And it's a way to give New Age Outlaws and Kane a payday at WrestleMania 5. I don't see it being a good match. I don't think the New Age Outlaws are decent workers anymore. But you know, whatever. It's a WrestleMania match. They're on the WrestleMania card. So who's complaining really? And then yeah, then the main event was The Undertaker, and you know, this segment I 100% agree with Sledgehammer. Everything he said, I 100% agree with him. I don't understand what story you're trying to tell. Are you trying to tell a story that Brock Lesnar is a punk bitch and he's scared of an empty casket? You're trying to give the idea that Brock Lesnar is this unstoppable animal, that he's not intimidated by the type of things that intimidate normal competitors. You're trying to give this idea that Undertaker is vulnerable. How are you trying to give that idea that Undertaker is vulnerable when all you keep doing is showing that the normal tricks that Undertaker does is effective in Brock Lesnar? How am I supposed to then buy, when I order WrestleMania, that Brock Lesnar could possibly beat The Undertaker? How am I supposed to suspend disbelief? I don't understand. I got so mad watching that segment. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got pissed off watching that segment. And this is one of the matches I am looking forward to. at WrestleMania. Mainly because I'm quite curious. I want to see if Sting comes in. And again, if you've watched a previous video I've done, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's just a segment that didn't sit comfortably with me. But, you know, basically what ended up happening was Brock Lesnar opened the coffin, closed the coffin, probably guess what the fuck happened. Opened the coffin, so then, you know, Brock said he was going to leave. Paul Heyman was running his mouth. Coffin opens by itself. Then, as the camera pans over, see that the Undertaker's in there. He comes in, beats Brock down a little bit, dashes him over the top rope. That's how Raw ended. It was a steady show. I don't know. I guess their focus at this point is at WrestleMania. I expect a good go-home show next week. That's all you can really say. Roll on WrestleMania, right? Just over a week to go. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. I'm going to try and pump in a few videos this week. One video, as I said, is going to be about Bray and Cena. Another video is still going to be about Daniel Bryan, I promise. I'm going to get there. Done my Undertaker Brock kind of preview, if you like. Those are mainly what you consider to be the main events. So yeah, I'll leave it as there. Please do comment, subscribe, like this video. Sorry this video dragged on a little bit. I didn't mean it to drag on for as long as it's done. And I basically hope to hear from you guys soon. And you guys will be hearing from me soon. So take care. Peace.